Dungeons and Dragons, what you do is to create a fantasized universe of the mind in which expediency to achieve your goal is more important than any kind of moral frame of reference to your actions.
So we have a wizard now teaching the children of his magical studies.
That's kind of far out.
Mazes and monsters is a far-out game. Swords, poison, spells, battles, maiming, killing.
Hey, it's all imagination.
Is it?
This is the Heroes Era.
Welcome to the Heroes Era. I'm your Dungeon Master, Ben, and we are playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons. This is session 10 of our third campaign together. And joining me tonight, we have Bodhi as Brutus. Oh, I did it. I did it to you again. I'm sorry.
Why? It's always me.
Every time. That's what you get. But
What?
Bodhi as Brutus.
Anyway. Big, tall, lanky, mean. Oh, it's all messed up now. Bugbear with a polearm trying to get out of this bad contract.
Joel is No Nox.
The orc with the song for you to sing along.
And Jason as Kendall.
I'm just the wizard keeping these guys alive.
And Chris had something come up last minute, so he's not able to make it tonight. Look forward to... I think he should be back next week, so we should look forward to that. And tonight we are telling a story, but we do not yet know how it will go. The players, the dungeon master, the dice, all of these will have a hand in how the game unfolds. This is the Heroes Era.
You have to do it this time.
And before we get started, just a few things to touch on real quick. Please make sure to follow the channel and give our video a thumbs up. Our games are live on Twitch Monday nights at 6 Pacific, and you, of course, can be part of the game using your channel points. You can even turn the tide of battle by granting your favorite player advantage or giving them some healing in a tight spot. And we do play and release typically 3 sessions monthly, so turn on your notifications to keep up with the campaign. And if you would like to support the stream, the best way to do that right now is to subscribe to our Twitch channel at the Heroes Era. This is a nice way to help cover some of our operating costs, and of course is always very much appreciated. Another great way to support the stream is to share around our videos on your favorite social media platform, and then of course just watching, tuning in. That's the best thing you can do. If you do want to join our community, we have a Discord channel, and it's a great way to make friends who also play D&D online. Also a good place to just chat about D&D, role-playing games, etc. And we may be running one-shot adventures throughout the year, and joining the Discord is the best way to get in on those games. And we also have a few other DMs in our community who run free games online, so it's a good place to network and find games. If you would like your artwork featured in our pregame and halftime slideshow, you can submit that to heroeseraguild@gmail.com, and I'm happy to give you credit and shout out one of your social medias. And finally, our content does include descriptions of graphic violence, so please be advised of that. And now, let the game begin. Another sound effect needs to go there, huh?
No, you just get silence.
It's just silence.
Yeah.
That's
Just silence.
Just get right into it. It's all good.
So, what happened last game?
Well, we traveled. We were walking along with the leader, or not the leader, but a captain of the ATK that was in the outpost that we stopped at. He asked us to accompany him to Riverside with a contingent of his cavalrymen and a bunch of civilians that were headed up to a Riverside, which is like a tent city that has some permanent buildings around it. And on the way there, Elias noticed some shadowy figures in the tree line to the left of us. We were a little wary of that. We made a game plan. We we held back a little bit so the rest of the people wouldn't get caught in the crossfire. And then we cast our fairy fire towards him, and we saw an Eladrin yelp and run back into the woods. And running from the woods towards us were a bunch of owlbears, 4 of them to be exact, and we did battle. One of us went ahead and called for the cavalrymen to come on and help us defeat these owlbears because it was looking a little bad for a second. And we were fine, of course.
We were fine. We were fine.
Of course. We killed 2 owlbears, and the other 2 ran off. And we just linked back up with the group and made the rest of the journey to Riverside, where we met some new friends who asked us immediately to do a job for them because everyone seems to be doing that for us. Yet another person on the list of large factions that want us to get a very powerful stone for them. And then for about a good half hour, we were debating on who we should trust, who we can talk to, what we should do. And we decided to end it so out of game we could talk about this. And then we lightly talked about it, and now here we are.
And the ambush, it seemed like it was orchestrated by the Eladrin hunting party that you originally encountered on the trail between Station 6 and...
Confluence.
Thank you. Ooh. And they harbor some resentment, it would seem. So it seemed like they had lured the owlbears to you and then fled the scene, essentially. You guys kind of recognized them, at least Elias did. And Ramiro is the name of the commander who you guys have, kind of made friends with, aided him, and then you ended up meeting with Fellet, the Shade, and she told you a little bit about what was going on in the city, in the ruined city of Nimnai-Allah. And we wrapped up the game, as you said. Everybody, I think, went to bed? Or were we still on the back porch? We can do as you guys like.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we actually decided to go anywhere. I think we kind of just Bellet kind of bid us adieu, and then I think we sort of faded to black at that point almost.
Yes. I wouldn't mind staying with Fellet because she did tell us that no one could overhear what we were talking about in her presence. Right. And that's a huge load off our shoulders when we're literally plotting against a person we're in a magical contract with.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it sounds like you guys... I'm sorry to cut you off. It sounds like you guys have more to discuss, so we can just pick up the game there on the back porch of the Onyx. Again, it is, a packed bar, a packed house, but out back, it's basically Fellet and her panther, and then a small group of dwarves are playing darts and drinking games and the like.
Hey, Nonox, do you think we have any reason to think that those dwarves are not who they seem, and they're eavesdropping on us?
You know what? Let's have a conversation. I'm gonna approach them with a song and try to make some friends.
Cool, okay.
And actually, I'm gonna use one of my abilities, which you got a chance to get a taste of last time, enthralling performance. So if they listen to my song for more than a minute, I'd like for them to make some wisdom saves.
Sure, and it would be hard not to listen as the group of you, find yourselves, maybe doubled in number by their group. So you just approach, walking across the small back porch that's surrounded by a hedgerow, several fireplaces lit, and I'll make some rolls here. And I'm sorry, what was your DC for that?
So it's a DC 14. It's up to 4 creatures.
Okay. Oh, up to 4. Okay. So we'll just knock off the last 2 rolls. One of the dwarves playing darts kind of smirks and, just focuses on the game at hand with a couple of his brethren there. And 3 others, though, are quite enthralled by your music, by your performance.
Why, hello there, friends. Do you mind if we join you?
Don't mind at all. That was a great song. Well played.
What is your name? There's 6 of you, right?
Oh, yes. That means there are 6 names.
Random name generator.
Sorry,
fantasy
I'm gonna hang
dwarf.
back by. I'm gonna hang back by Fellet, Nonox. Sorry, I'll mention this to you prior to doing this. Just so that my awkward demeanor doesn't put off your guest. I'll just stay. I'll stay back.
I'm Yognik Hammerbelly.
Yognik Hammerbelly. Very good.
Hold up, let me write these down.
Yeah, me too.
And this is my brother, Kolog. Smelthide.
Olog Smelthide.
Wow. And the women names are much more complex.
You're like, you're never going to remember these.
Hudreigit? Barrel sword.
Udraic Barrel Sword. Okay, 3 more.
And these are the 3 who have been enthralled by your song. The others seem to care more about their game of darts than the conversation at hand.
And Ben doesn't care enough to give 3 more names to us.
It's just brutal.
Brutus, come over here.
All right. Brutus hobbles on over. I'm like towering over these dwarfs.
This is my big gentle friend.
Hello.
What does he play?
War.
Mostly, he plays with his enemy's skulls.
Yeah, I kill people.
You sound like a baritone. You have a good singing voice.
No.
Oh, well.
He's just a little shy today.
Here, can I pour you a drink?
Okay.
Come, Brutus, let's drink with our friends.
I sit down. I'm still like 5'8". All right.
And they slide 2 mugs across the table to you.
You said they're playing games as well?
Yes. There's a game of darts currently.
Would this be a skill-based game?
Darts?
Yeah.
Sure.
Or would it be more like, in that case, if I see one that's struggling, if they're playing against each other, if I see one that's struggling, I'm gonna use one of my bardic inspirations to even the score.
Oh, interesting. Okay. The one who was in the lead begins to become agitated as the one of his opponents begins to catch up easily.
Do you feel like making a bet?
And who are you saying this to?
One of the charmed
Okay.
dwarves.
You got Yognik, Kellogg, and Hudrik. Hudrik.
I believe Yognik was the first one we talked to.
Yes.
Something with friendly stakes. What do you have in mind?
Friendly stakes. Let's keep the bet small. 2 silver.
Sure. I'll put 2 silver on Jed Grayster.
Oh no, we're adding the name. Jed Grisk. However you spell that.
And he's the one who was winning, and then Barrel Toe seems to be catching up here.
Barrel toe, not barrel sword.
I don't know. Barrel Toe's a different person.
Barrel toe.
Oh yes, they are siblings, so I'll put 2 down.
Well, you have given one of them a magical advantage. And he seems to be pulling ahead in the score.
That is not.
I have a few more of those.
I looked at the chat to see the names that have been posted.
Yeah.
Not at all how I spelled
Maybe
them.
close.
No,
Not even.
not at
No.
all. No.
All good. When in doubt, go phonetic.
Looks like your song has really inspired one of our brothers.
I'll give him a little more of a cheer, with more enthusiasm this time.
Okay, so you're backing.
Barrel toe?
Okay, and then. Gosh, I'm sorry.
Are you forgetting your own NPCs, Ben?
This is ridiculous.
That one's Bomnia Grit.
Bomnia Grit.
You'll be betting against Kolog, and Kolog is backing. Gosh, this is bad. Hard.
Is it
Let's
Bomnia Grit?
let's make opposed D20 rolls. I'll roll for the dwarf that the NPC is backing, and then you roll on behalf of Barrel Toe.
Sounds good.
So yeah, so Kolog will roll a roll for hard granite here on Kolog's behalf, I suppose. And you can grant your roll the boon of your bardic inspiration.
Will do. Man, we're both rolling pretty low.
And your dwarf pulls ahead and wins the game. Well, here's your silver. He flips a coin to you.
Tell you what, I'll buy the next round.
That sounds fair. So, where do you hail from, good fellows?
Oh, I'm pretty far from here. I'm Bluefield.
Kendall, what are you doing over there all alone?
Kendall, come on, read something to them.
Come and greet our friends.
Read a book.
It's okay, guys. I'm just having a chat with our new friend here, and I'm just gestured towards the Lady Fellet.
Oh, he doesn't want to read to you.
Oh, he's too good for us, I see.
Oh.
You know, the bookish sort.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm trying to stay away so I don't say the wrong thing.
As happy as we are to have more company, what's on your mind? I sense that you've come here for more than just making a gamble.
Well, I think like most people who walk through here, we're just trying to make a name for ourselves.
And how do you expect to do that?
Great deeds, great bravery.
Well, what have you done so far? You should make a song about it.
Well, Brutus, you have that story, don't you?
What? Yeah. There's
The one with the giants, my friend.
Oh. Yeah. We're in the woods, and there was these giants throwing rocks at a outpost of the ATK, and we kind of crawled on up and killed two out of 3 giants and destroyed a goblin squad.
Oh yes, we've heard about that actually.
Yeah, that was us.
Spread.
We also killed 2 owlbears on the way here, and then we
They
also
call you
were.
the mystic, charmed, and dangerous. Is that right?
I don't know. Sounds right though, I guess.
It's a little wordy, if you ask me.
Yeah.
We're taking we're taking suggestions. My friend here actually, he's quite the whirlwind with a blade.
Yes, I hit. Oh, ooh, let me show you this. And he goes and he sits down and he pulls out his deck of cards. He takes a joker out from it and he like throws it up in the air. And then from behind the dwarves, his shadow in the form of friend reaches out and grabs it with his long hand and puts it back in the deck and walks around and sits next to him and is like, so that's I don't know what that is, but it doesn't want to kill me, so I think it's friendly.
Do you think that a hammer or a blade would win in a one-on-one duel?
Against like a dwarf or just like normal?
Good question. A hammer in the hands of a dwarf
versus a bugbear with a blade. I think I'd win. I'm pretty strong.
Well, shall we put it to the test? A bit of point sparring.
Okay. And he stands up.
Blows.
Yeah, sure.
Are you skilled enough, or shall you wrap your blade?
I might stroll over and just keep an eye.
Kendo!
You should wrap your blade in leather.
We're gonna beat the hell out of each other for fun. And I start wrapping my blade in leather.
The dwarf picks up his mug of ale and chugs the whole thing, slams it on the table.
Aye, brother.
He picks up his hammer. Well then, keep it fair.
Like right here, or?
Yeah. Back up a bit, he says to his dwarven friends.
All right, let's do it. And Brutus will just stand 15 feet away from him. You know, like kind of like trying to set like the dueling like space. You know how they used to do, just like 15 feet apart as we begin. So he just has the absolute range advantage. It's just going to outrun this.
Then, right off the bat. Well, let's start.
All right,
initiative, please.
I'm gonna probably end up killing this dwarf somehow. Oh, no, but he is going to go first.
The dwarf rushes in with his hammer and tries to just shove it into your sternum. A 19 to hit.
Ow. He's doing it.
And so he lands a hefty blow against you, kind of staggering you. You can go ahead and take your turn as you please.
Can we say we had a short rest?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Or did he just knock you unconscious?
No.
Okay.
So Brutus hits one in the chest. Is like, that's funny. And then he's just going to just absolutely just swing at this guy as hard as he can. One through him, one through his shadow.
Don't kill him, Brutus.
That is a 17 and a 15.
The 17 will hit, but he spins with his shield. He's wielding a large hammer. He spins with his hammer and intercepts the strike of your shadow.
Ooh, and I action surge and I do it again.
Okay.
A 20 and a 19.
And your strike is true, and then so is the strike of your shadow.
It's a form of it. The blade is wrapped, and the shadow doesn't hit as hard as it's supposed to. But Brutus does not know how to hold back because he hasn't sparred in so long. So it's absolutely almost full force into this guy.
Yeah, your halberd just cuts through the leather wrapping and cleaves into his shoulder, and he drops his hammer.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to.
Well, I guess we've settled that one. And he just kind of grimaces, retaking his stool.
Is he cut?
Yeah, his shoulder has a gaping wound on it now.
Oh no! Here,
pour some beer on it.
I take out some bandages and I start to help him out. I feel bad.
Right.
Sorry, I went too hard.
Well,
Ben, I'll stroll over to the dwarf, just put a hand on his shoulder, recant some words of magic, and a ball of light will kind of transfer from my hand and then kind of kind of wash over his whole body and then dissipate, and giving him a cure wounds.
Thank you, cleric.
Yeah, he's a cleric, all right.
The dwarf just works out his arm. Well, I'd say let's go again, but I'm afraid you have the clear advantage. Were you in the military?
Yeah, I think I was quite No, I wasn't bred for war, but I was in a war. Many battles.
Which ones?
Oh, it was a bunch with a lot of skirmishes with the ATK. A lot of small fights, but not too big to like spark actual war. You know, that sort of deal.
Oh.
Yeah.
The ATK, you have to be careful of them. Be mindful. They are riddled with deceit. They are led by a demon, they say.
Hey, I believe
They're
it.
They're not from around here, are they?
Oh, we're
ATK?
from Dunlop.
The ATK, though, the army of the Three Kingdoms, they're from across the ocean.
Yeah, they're not from here.
They've been here long enough, since the Fury, but yes. And they have recruited a lot of locals, but no. All of their command is from the south.
Yeah, they tried to get me sell information. Just like they were real casual about it too. Like, hey, if you want to sell any info to me, would be greatly appreciated.
Really, what kind of information?
I don't know, like numbers or locations or stuff. They wouldn't even be useful because I haven't ran with a squad in like such a long while.
You don't
I have
seem
no
like much
idea.
of a counter either.
No,
offense.
no, I'm trying to read more.
Frankly, I think that's quite common in our group. Information is quite literally the one thing we need the most.
And that guy, and I point to Kendall. He's got some information, but it keeps getting stolen from him. So we gotta get it back. It's bad.
So you're here on a bit of a mission then.
Well, actually, come to think of it, you may be of some help. There is a dwarven woman that has gone missing. We wondered if you might have heard anything about that.
Detheda.
Yeah,
Hey,
we were working for Detheda.
Aye. Oh, you're the ones. That's right. Well, it was Commander Hockins that brought her here, and lucky for him, some travelers found him with 2 arrows stuck into his shoulder. They were ambushed, they say.
It's a shame they were to wait for us and to be escorted. I wonder if they might have gotten here safely had they waited.
Sorry, no Nox?
Would you know where he is? We'd be quite interested in
He's
speaking
resting.
to him.
He's resting upstairs. Be careful of that one, though. He's a bit of a snake.
Like actually, or like figuratively?
Could be. They say that Rispatung still holds the scar on the land just outside of Dunlop. And, well, we don't let the ATK stay there anymore, but for a while they were stationed quite close to the scar on the land. I wouldn't trust any of their commanders.
Okay.
It's curious that he managed to arrive safely.
Ooh, could be a
That is
setup.
Curious.
Well, 2 arrows in the chest are not exactly safe, but
It wasn't the chest; it was the shoulder.
Days like this, Nonox, arriving alive is arriving safely.
perhaps it would be worth speaking to him.
Yeah, let's go talk to the man. Find out who attacked him and where, when, and all that fun information.
Sure, he's in the lobby upstairs. He has a room, but they're singing to him near the fireplace in the lobby, trying to keep him warm.
All right.
Well, you have friends with us from now on, so if you ever need anything, feel free to call.
Well met. And how about that round?
Of course, of course. and I'll pay for it.
Very good, very good.
Might put me a little low, but I think we're past that point.
I have no money.
Yeah. There's like very little difference between like very little money and no money. Like, you know.
Some might say it's a 2 silver difference.
Well, 2 silver's enough for a mug of ale.
All right. Well, if we're all done out here for the most part for now, we can talk to...
I have one last question for the Lady Fellet before we try to find
Sure.
the snake, as they call him, Kevin.
Sure, and the dwarves go back to their own conversation, and they're onto the next game of darts as well. Sure.
I'll do like a bow and just say, well met.
They raise their mugs of fresh ale to the group of you.
Forgive us, my lady, we just wanted to ensure that our conversations were not heard by the wrong ears. For the tasks that we've been asked by many different groups for many different things. Would it be fair to say that it would please you if the balance was maintained in the land, not necessarily allowing one particular group to gain too strong of a hold in the region?
I'm not opposed to sharing power, but for me, I prefer the balance that a thriving civilization can bring, the opportunity. A way to, promote growth among all who seek it. Not to nefarious ends. So, the balance that a good civilization provides, that is what I support.
Interesting.
Would you think it'd be a bad idea to get some hobgoblin troops from Kondrazul up here, this far north, and to the east? You know, little not minding the travel they would have to do through ATK territory with the very shaky peace that we have right now, but
What would be the benefit of that?
People were getting attacked on the roads, and owlbears running on trade routes, and these Eladrin hunting parties, albeit going after us, but still being out there. There was not too far from here, not too many days ride from here, people getting kidnapped for a death maze. That's a betting game.
Yes.
People pay for sport?
Yeah.
Jude sport, yes. Well, the ATK are spread quite thin. Perhaps they have bitten off more than they can chew.
Just more beefed up security, I could say. That's the only thing I can imagine that would be very beneficial to having some more armed forces up here, but maybe a bit more uneasy with the ATK.
Well, don't you think that could lead to conflict between the ATK and Kondrazul's forces?
Most likely, but seeing as how the locals feel about the ATK, it might not be the worst thing in the world. Because they all...
Keep in mind, these are not locals, these are dwarves from Dunlop.
That's true. I guess we'd have to figure out how Commander Hockins is. See if there's any deceit on his end.
I have known Commander Hockins to be good-hearted.
Might be
There's lots of rumors of... My apologies, Brutus.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of rumors of I don't know what the correct word to use is. That the commanders behind the ATK may not be as they seem. And I mean,
Yes.
an army that is, forward facing in a good light, so to speak, but behind the scenes, not so good. It's almost the worst of the two.
Yeah.
Well,
Making it.
there are a lot of rumors surrounding Commander Krim specifically, but the ATK did journey, halfway around the world to provide a service and protection for North Hetlevin, for the people here. I understand your concern, though.
It also just concerns me how, not to be any disrespect to their queen, but they're a long way from home. They came and did provide a service, like you mentioned, but logic tells me, that service has been fulfilled, and now it might be time for them to hand the reins over, so to speak, to Dunlop and his group of men. And as my friend has mentioned, Kondrazul's army is one to be trusted, as far as I can tell.
Dunlop
Perhaps
has an easier peace with Kondrazul than he does the ATK, I know that much. They have had dealings in the past.
yes. Commander Krim tried to take Dunlop, the Dunlop Valley, from Dunlop, and he was driven out by the Trident. I would not trust Commander Krim for a second.
No.
The other commanders, I don't know well enough.
What do you know of Kevin? There are rumors that maybe he has been poisoned in the same way that Krim has been poisoned.
I hope not. Kevin has made quite a name for himself, just a farm boy that joined up with the Trident and worked his way through the ranks of the ATK, a hero in battle. But I'm not sure.
From
Sorry to press you for.
Oh.
Oh, by all means, Brutus. I just immediately was going to say that I'm apologize for pressing the lady so far, but please continue.
It is from my experience with commanding officers, both friendly and on the other side of a conflict, that most aren't nice. They're not very nice to you. And that's maybe because they have to be sometimes, It's like how you can't be good friends with your employees if you run a business, because they'll start to slack off or not work as well. That sort of leadership style. But from what I saw of Kevin, the good commander, I think he is one of the good ones. It's just that even if you are a good leader, if you have a boss, it might not always be up to you what you do, because you still have orders. So I'm not saying that he is bad specifically. I'm just saying those that he follows is bad. His direct supervisor might be worse. So maybe we could work with him in trying to figure out where some of this alleged corruption of snakes, whatever the hell that is, in the ATK is, and maybe get rid of it so it's easier peace between the two of us. But then again, the ATK is very far from home, and it does seem like they are making land grabs when they have a whole entire, what's the acronym for? 3 kingdoms? They need a
That's
fourth?
right. Well, they have secured Helta, and they are the main defense there.
However,
You make good points there, my shadow-flanked friend.
They are outnumbered. and they seem to have enemies on every side.
Yeah.
If Gwynistry were to return, could her company, her people, could they maintain a level of, I don't like to use the word control, but
security?
Dominion over it? Oh, yes, over this realm, if we were to help in that regard. Maybe allowing Gwynistry's forces to retain their station here, allowing Dunlop and Condrazul to maintain their stations to the south and to the west of us, and possibly entice the ATK to that their job is done.
Gwynistry is quite powerful, and if she were returned to the throne, then I do believe that she could hold the city. But if too much of the city is lost to other powers, then when she does return, it might be a different situation. Before Anam's Fury, the Nyx Dryadales held every source in Nimnayala. Now their power wanes. But their forces too have been split. They battle giants, and they seek to take back the mountain.
Well, from what I've heard of your cousin, Velvet, she seems like a nice lady. And I don't think it'd be a bad thing to help her, because I don't think she'd try to stab us in the back immediately once we were done doing it. It's just that I don't know where she is. And everything we've been told by other groups so far goes against what your wishes are and what places they hold. So, again, tough spot. I know we're talking in circles at this point about who's who and what's what. It's just tough.
It is a tricky situation.
If I may, lady, I have one last question, and then we will free you and speak with you in the shadows that you directed.
Of course.
As we discussed previously, we made a contract with the Unseelie Queen, Lady Jude. And in that arrangement, she has asked us to acquire a lockstone from Nimnayala, take it to her so that she might, purify it in her image, I guess you might say. And then return it to Nimnayala so that she might kind of can control Dominion.
Yes.
Flying companion here, Brutus, had very wittingly alluded to the idea that we might carry out this task, but on returning the stone to the Nimnayala, the ruined city, that we might bring it to you or to Gwynistry's loyalists, that they might purify it in her own image and thus give her control over those ruins. Now, in doing this, the Lady Jude had said she would return some of the books that she'd stolen from us. I know we've already discussed this, but I had some time to think about this. The other matter she mentioned in this was that to return the lockstone from its source. Now, as we know, the Unseelie Fae do not always speak in literals. Is it possible, because we know these stones came from the crust of the earth and rose up from the world chain, so to speak. Is it possible that's where she would want this stone to be returned? Or do you think that she actually means the ruined city?
Lady Jude's desire is to pull the mountain into the fairy realm. First, she wishes to control the shadow of the mountain. And the shadow of the mountain falls upon the city of Nimnayala. So I think that she is looking for a foothold there that her power may grow.
In the ruined city, in Ninila.
Yes.
Would it displease you if we were to partially fulfill our end of this deal?
You have made a deal, then you have made a deal.
I have a thought.
By all means, please.
It is more dependent on you, Philip, on your capabilities. Since we have to have this be purified in her name and then returned to the source, I know that actually installing it where it's supposed to go might be a very bad thing, because it's just a rock for all we care until it's set in stone, so to say, whatever. Is there something you could do to tamper with it? Because if we want to have her uphold her end of the bargain and give us what we were promised, I feel as if us simply skimming out on the last step of installing it where it needs to be, it's going to be enough grounds for her to say no to us in returning what is owed. I wonder if there's something that you can do, sort of as of a like a late activation sort of thing of...
If we are going to, as you say, tamper with the lady's lockstone, you should demand that she fulfill her end of the bargain when you have met some of her prerequisites. Perhaps that is a way around it, but she might know what you're doing. I would tread lightly against Lady Jude Harrows.
Yeah. Yeah. Or we just say, screw her, and we don't do anything. And we just miss out on the book, and Elias doesn't get to go home.
Well, we help the lady, and she has offered to help us in a sort of back door, so to speak, into Lady Jude's, I don't know, wherever she keeps my books, really.
I can tell you where she keeps the books, but she will not, fulfill Elias's part of the deal, I'm sure, if it comes to that. But
that's right.
It is up to you all.
Would Gwyneth be able to help with that?
Would who? I'm sorry?
Would your cousin be able to help with that, with Elias's issue with his bracelet?
I suspect so. Is it true that the bracelet was put on to Elias by Theus? If that is the case, it is a tricky matter. I do not wish to anger Theus.
That might be something we have to do later then.
You know what? We've been hearing that a lot. There's not too many people who'd anger him.
Cross him. No. You made a good point, Brutus. I think that is something worth exploring. Because I personally would like to help the Lady Gwynestry regain that which she's lost. Sorry, no.
Theus might be in a similar situation to us. So if he was the one that placed it, we might be able to bargain with him directly. I'm sure he doesn't appreciate the fact that he's being forced to serve someone else.
Help the necromancer that one of our friends stole from and then traded away, and help him get it back in return for him removing a...
Frankly, I don't think
hearse.
I don't think it'll help our friend very much to remove the necklace if he has a necromancer hunting him down to his last day.
Yeah. Pickle.
Well, my friends, I feel the lady has answered all of the questions I have at this time. If we don't, we may.
We have someone else to question, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
Very
you for your
good.
help.
Thank
I
you,
will
fella.
probably remain in Riverside for the time being. It is a nice town. It's quaint here. And
Well, we will be in touch with you, my lady.
Through the
Through the
shadows.
shadow.
And I give a bow. I know it's not customary, but I feel drawn to.
I just go to I raise my hand up expectantly in front of Felid. Come on.
Felix Panther rises and rises onto its hind legs and meets your hand with her paw.
Oh hell yeah. That's a cool cat. I give it some chin scratches and like, all right, goodbye.
Yes,
And
Jackie Boy is a sweetie.
I-
So with that, let's take a quick break. We'll get drinks, use the restroom, whatever you guys need to do, and we'll resume here in 10 minutes, okay?
Okie dokie.
Perfect.
Reynold is an above-average height dwarf who worked in a small village as a blacksmith and was very friendly with his neighbors, making friends with whoever he could find. Despite having a simple and fulfilling life, he still felt a bit empty, like something was missing, until one day out in a nearby forest he spotted a baby orc, scavenging off of a wolf's corpse trying to find something to eat. Reynold knew what he had to do and took this abandoned baby into his home and fed him, giving him shelter and clothing him. After an extended period of time, with no one seemingly coming after this child, Reynold adopted him and gave him a new name, Dismas Hook. Reynold spent all of his time with Dismas, teaching him his trade and learning the Orcish language and having a wonderful time, but not all was well. The other villagers that Reynold had known and befriended turned their backs on him and looked at the two of them with disgust. This family of two were treated as a disease, being mocked and insulted, refused service, or met with great resistance in day-to-day life, making Dismas's early life anything but normal. Once Dismas had grown and up and matured a bit, Reynold took him on a supply run to a nearby town to get away from all of the hostilities. But once on the outskirts of the village, they were ambushed by the more radical members of the community and battle occurred. The aftermath of this battle was bloody, and there were many casualties on both sides. The only one that lived that day was the once again lonely blacksmith. With an unmarked grave and a pack full of gear and memoirs, Reynold left behind his vile village and struck out in an attempt to find a reason in all the madness and hate that encountered him.
It's in here chatting all the time.
As far as short-term goals go, I think we should go find Detheda for sure.
I think we got to talk to the general.
Let's go talk to Kevin.
Talk to the general, find Detheda, and then go to the mansion. And that's what we'll do for now. And we'll think about what we're gonna do long term.
Yeah. Let's talk to Kevin first.
And so you guys see Kevin Hockins, the injured commander, and he's on the second level of the Onyx in a small lobby that is upstairs near the fireplace.
Just before we leave the back porch where we're with the Lady Fellet, I pull up my spell book and flipping to the page that I was looking for immediately, begin recanting some words of magic, and I'm gonna cast a detect magic spell. It'll last 10 minutes, but I wanted to have it active while we meet Kevin Hockins, just to see if there's catch any sort of deceptive dwellers on him, or maybe anything that might give us the idea that he isn't who we seem, or we seem he seems like he's supposed to be. Am I trying to say? Yeah, basically that.
Okay.
The limited limits of my divination powers at the moment, so that's what I'm going to use.
Okay. So you do cast detect magic, and of course you feel or detect the shroud that is upon the back porch here surrounding Fellet, and so you're
right.
In a way reassured that your conversation was private.
Nice.
We should check for scrying orbs too.
Just for semantics, I could do that. As a wizard under the Order of Scribes, I can actually cast a ritual once a day, as using its regular casting time and not having to cast it for 10 minutes. So I'll just cast it really quickly.
Okay.
That's a good point, though, Brutus. I will do that. I'll just take a moment to focus around and just check to see if there seem to be any attempts to scry in on us or to watch on us, or any arcane eyes or other sort of magic that I might be aware of that a wizard might use that I would be able to detect, because there are certain levels of scrying that we wouldn't be able to detect, but there are some spells like the arcane eye that I might be able to see.
You don't notice anything on the back porch. As you move through the bar, you see that there is a black onyx stone that beer is poured upon, and that is enchanted in some way. And that seems to be how they chill the beer, is by pouring it over a large black stone and then into whatever vessels would receive it. You also detect in the corner there's a card game going on, and it seems as though somebody is getting a little bit of help with their end of the game, so it would seem. Other than that, there are perhaps small trinkets that people possess. You see many people here have belongings with them, scroll cases, so magic scrolls perhaps would be within these. So there is magic here and there, but nothing that you would assume is a scrying spell in effect.
Okay, cool. Okay, no problem. And I have no intention of stealing anything from anyone. That's just not how I roll.
Sure.
And then I guess we'll proceed to try and find Kevin, guys.
Yeah. I go towards the fireplace where he was sighted at.
Sure.
As we're going through, Ben, I just as a social moron, I kind of don't really make eye contact with anyone.
Okay. And again, where Commander Hockins is on the second level, so there's a stairwell leading up to more rooms, above the tavern where the inn is, and you see there, lying on a long bench with several blankets laid beneath him, Commander Hockins, and there's a table next to him with some
bloodied arrows that have been obviously, removed from the commander. And these arrows have the feathers of rare birds as fletching. The feathers are a dark violet color.
Brutus walks up and struts on over. Is there anyone next to him, like any healers attending him, or is he just by himself right now?
There is somebody tending to Kevin. He says, "Oh, my friends, please give us a moment." And then his friend who is tending him steps away and goes downstairs, and it leaves you with Commander Hockins. Every now and then a patron might pass on the way to their room, and so forth, but it is, for the most part, private.
Well, looking comfy there, sir. Taking a little...
I'm afraid not. My skin is on fire.
Oh, bad. That's bad. You got poisoned?
Yes, I think... And he just turns and heaves into a bowl that has already been the receptacle of past events of the
Brutus sniffs it. Not bad.
Don't drink
You're almost done with it. So, what got you?
I felt something sharp in my shoulder, and then darkness took me. They killed 3 of my soldiers. They must have left me for dead. When I woke up, I just crawled as far as I could and passed out again. Detheda was gone.
Brutus looks at the rare feathers that he sees using his past times that he went hunting in kind of a Fey-like zone from his home. Would he be able to identify that these are just material plane birds, or and these have a bit of Fey magic to them?
Make a knowledge nature check, please.
We'll see if my brain can remember.
Hey, no, just keep an eye out for prying eyes as we're chatting, if you can. You're more perceptive than I am.
Got 14.
You got it.
These must be extremely rare if they're from the material plane, but you might assume that they are from the Feywild. And again, they are a dark violet color, which is the color of Lady Jude Harrows.
All right, well, I can tell you who attacked you if you want. Or I could keep it a mystery for your, I don't know. I don't know why you would want it as a mystery.
You know, then.
Yeah, they sent 4 owlbears at us on our way over with the local captain.
Who?
We got off of bad terms with a hunting party that, work for or are with Lady Jude. And they've been mad at us because we slighted them sometimes in the past. So I assume they shot you on your way over here on orders from the Queen because Detheda was carrying a important package, and I winked to him that she might see as valuable.
Yes, it's very valuable. If that organ has fallen into the wrong hands, it's a tragedy.
Can I actually do anything with it as it is right now, or do they have to get to the same destination and then do something with it there?
Its power is dependent on, it being part of the source that it was originally taken from. But it can play a very powerful song. And I know that Detheda wanted to reinstall the organ so that she might be able to bring the mountain back down. So you see, the organ is built into the side of the mountain itself.
No, yeah, it was definitely the Lady Jude then. So that means good chances that Detheda isn't dead then, because she likes to kidnap people and keep them as trophies.
I hope so. I mean, it would be terrible, but I think if she was dead, then she would have been left with me.
Yeah. Good thing she's not a halfling. That would have been bad. Well, do you remember where exactly you got attacked along the way, along the road, so that we may go back and investigate?
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
was
put it
just
past the Lady Jude to expand her palette, though, Brutus.
just on the other side of the bridge. We were almost here.
Ooh. Man, that's gotta suck.
Can't believe the ATK was not able to help you.
Are you a tracker by any chance, Kevin?
I'm not much of a tracker, but I can show you where it happened.
I mean, that would be something for sure. At least we know who we're looking for now.
Yeah, I mean, we were basically celebrating when we got here, and then they took us by surprise.
Right.
Yeah,
the city was in sight.
It might be the same party we were thinking of then. They have a tendency to spring nasty surprises.
They're cowards, aren't they, Nonox?
No, they certainly don't dare stand and face us.
Yeah.
We might have better luck than you.
Maybe we should wait till light and then go to the spot.
Yeah.
I would welcome a rest. I mean,
another day is not gonna do much.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll leave you to sleep that poison off. Good luck, if you sleep at all. I'm gonna go find a tree outside because I'm too poor to afford a room. And Bruce will just start walking downstairs and start surveying the local trees to sleep in.
As you guys leave Commander Hockins and go into the main area of the tavern, Ramiro approaches you. Hey, brothers.
Hey.
I meant to thank you earlier. We just had some business to attend to. You really did a great job for us, and I want you to, have at least some kind of payment. And, there's a little bit extra, so to speak. And he hands you a satchel with 20 gold coins. I've also got you some rooms here at the Onyx. 2 rooms this time.
Interesting.
If
Romero,
you like.
I could kiss you. I said I could. I won't.
Yeah, all right.
I could. Do you want a kiss?
Not from a smelly bugbear.
Oh, Brutus crouches with his hand over his eyes.
You might learn a bit about hygiene from your orc friend here.
I'll take the satchel of Ben and just count out the 20 coins, then hand each of my friends 5.
Oh, money. I'm not
right,
poor
sorry
anymore.
there isn't more in it for you, but it wasn't that, very high-paying contract.
When you don't have anything, 5 gold is plenty. Thank you.
Aye.
And a room. I don't have to sleep in a tree tonight.
This is the wealthiest that I've been in a day.
I've got your rooms for tonight, and, if you agree to get us some information, then I can put you on the ATK books and keep you lodged here if you like.
I'll think about it.
All right, I'll be around.
All right. Thank you.
No, Nox. Any interest perusing the mercantile, the marketplace?
I don't think 5 gold will get us very far, aside from maybe a good meal.
We have 5 gold and 2 silver. Sorry, 7. More than I thought.
We can certainly try.
Just as well. I'm just as happy to find a room and a good book.
Honestly, I'd
Maybe a bath.
Anywhere with people. We might hear something interesting.
My mother was here. She'd be yelling, pushing us all into the bath. I'm sure by now.
Hey,
I can't smell myself, but I can smell Brutus, so I can just imagine what we'd smell like.
Look, guys, I don't mind bathing. It's just I don't get to very often.
It's fine. It's fine. We have prestidigitation, and I just clean him up once more.
I was just going to say our friend Nonox has fallen behind on his cleaning duties.
I can go bathe in the river. It's not that bad. I can just go.
I don't see a restroom, so I wouldn't suggest the river anytime soon.
Fine, I'll just eat soap. It's okay.
With that, Ben, I might retreat to a room.
Sure.
A warm bed, maybe a bath.
Okay. And as you are enjoying a warm bath, Kendall, there is a voice that resonates in your head, a familiar voice. You hear the voice of Nuella. She asks,
Ooh.
Did you find Whodunit in the book?
We found Whodunit, and he gave the book to the Lady Jude of the Unseelie Fae. Whodunit met the unfortunate demise within a gelatinous cube.
Then, what did the Queen have to say about the book? Did she give it back?
Forgive me, my lady. The Lady Jude is not exactly of the generous persuasion, let's say. She has proposed, well, she has contracted us to carry a task, and the book is our payment.
I suspect she may have more of my books, so perhaps you can keep an eye out for that.
It might please my lady to know I've actually been in contact with the Lady Fellet, who has corroborated your suspicions that there are more books that Whodunit and perhaps others have given to the Lady Jude. I have a plan. I'm hoping to retrieve everything I can and restore your favor as well as my own. I would very much like to be recognized as a student, and hoping that this may help sway some of those decision makers.
This is a delicate matter, Kendall. If Lady Jude has more than one of my books, you must earn her trust and reclaim all of the books that she has stolen. They are vital to the prestige of our school.
Absolutely. Please know, my lady, that your notions are not lost on me. Am I to understand that you would support me in working with the Lady Jude?
I do not wish to make an enemy of Lady Jude. However, if she has facilitated the theft of numerous books from my library, well, it is a delicate matter. I am hesitant to work against her, though.
The Lady Fellet has proposed an alternative solution that she might be able to provide a way for me to retrieve the books. I would much prefer to work with the Lady Fellet.
This task is in your hands and the hands of Elias, and you feel the connection between the two of you severed.
Just look up to the sky. It was good to have you near, even though you weren't here. I hope to see you. Hope to speak again.
Before you all retire for the evening, is there anything else that Brutus or Nonox would like to do?
Brutus finds a bathtub or bathes much in a similar way that Kendall did, but it is like they have to change the water like multiple times, and there's a couple hours of just like straight grooming of like picking ticks out of his like fur and like flies and fleas, some lice in his helmet. Just really getting like a good deep clean, and then he sits in his bed with a pillow on his head, underneath his head, and like a small little like lantern lit, and him just like thumbing through the book that Kendall gave him, and he's just taking a late night read.
Very good.
He's got the classic like nightcap on and like the nightgown. His feet are sticking out the end of the bed because he's too long.
And how about no knocks?
I think just because Kendall did mention the market, if there's a market square in the city, I think I would peruse it just to see what they have available.
Sure. There is an open market, but most of the shops seem to be closed for the evening. You might find, a stall here or there where somebody is still willing to sell you trinkets or perhaps some jerky, just, some of the bare essentials, but nothing of note in the evening here.
I think I would take, I guess, a chance to restock on my jerkies and my any travel foods and rations.
Sure, that's doable.
And I'll take extra for Brutus because I know he's a growing boy.
Hungry.
Okay. Then I would have night come and pass, and Shograflees appears over the southern mountain range, bringing light to the region, and the shadow leaves Riverside, and you perhaps are greeted by Commander Hockins.
Hello.
In the morning bed when we awake, if there's anything left, I assume the rooms have candles or a candle, like a candlestick out of the bedside or something to that effect.
Yes.
I'm gonna take the candle from my room and from the other room. I think is it Brutus's room. I was gonna buy some, but I figured I could just take them from the inn.
Brutus is.
I need to be able to cast shadows to commune with Fellet. How better than just lighting a candle?
Brutus is in his bed reading, and he's like, "Oh, we're stealing then. Oh, okay. I didn't know if you guys were fine with that or not, but he like takes a pillow.
I just come in and cut it off at the bottom, like with my dagger.
Okay.
Brutus just takes the whole bed.
They had some soaps that were really nice. And he like
You
takes
should
like
bring those.
that toiletry size like soap, and he like stuffs them into his bag. He smells a lot better.
I could use a pillow for the travels.
He's got a nice pillow.
I'll also just do my regular preparations of my mage armor and my gift of alacrity, just to be prepared.
Oh, Kendall, do you want this, by the way? You did something with my halberd, and I didn't know how this sort of stuff works. And he just hands you the pair of giant eyes that he just had in his bag.
Oh.
I don't want it to ruin the pillow, so here you go.
Oh, I would be happy to hold on to them for you.
Yeah, I don't want them anymore. Kind of like a spur of the moment thing,
How big are these eyeballs?
Oh, they're giant eyes. I think they're huge.
Probably the size of a large coffee cup.
I was imagining like the size of a normal human head.
I was thinking like a kickball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Consider that a square on that, Brutus. That's a fair trade, in my opinion.
Is it? It was
as much an experiment for me as it was anything.
I'll just give you random body parts now. You like it, I guess. So
I appreciate that, my friend, but I don't want you just walking through the market chopping people down.
You give me your finger.
Well, guys, I feel a lot better today after resting. Do you want me to take you out across the bridge? I can show you where they ambushed us.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
I've got some extra jerky, too, for breakfast if you guys want a snack before we get back to the Onyx. And he hands you some elk jerky.
Thank you. This isn't halfling, right?
Oh, God,
Hey, is this
I hope
halfling?
not.
I don't know. I heard it tastes good. Just eats more.
Tasted like elk to me, so I hope that's what it is.
Uh-huh.
You guys usually eat halfling?
Oh, not
Absolutely
usually.
not.
Okay.
Times get tough sometimes in the army.
Good to know.
Forgive us. An unfortunate takeaway from our run-ins with the Lady Jude.
You see that north of you, Nimnialaw is shrouded in clouds, and you can see that it is raining there by the light of Shografle's, shining through the downpour. But where you are, the sky is clear. It is brisk, as you are in winter now. Commander Hockins leads you across the bridge from Riverside to the Baie de Cantinope Trail, and just kind of looks around here. Yeah, we were just about to pull the wagon in, and then, like I said, arrows hit me and I blacked out.
Well,
Do you know
Brutus
from
looks
what
around.
direction?
Let's see. I was facing Riverside. No, that's not right. I was looking up north, I think. Well, I don't remember. We were just kind of all talking, and yeah, I mean,
You mentioned that you were en route to the town, right?
Yeah, we were about to turn the corner and go across the bridge, but we were kind of getting rambunctious as we arrived. We were pretty happy to be here. Kind of foolish, I guess.
That's all right. I forgive you.
On which side was Kevin hit with arrows?
Now, which shoulder?
In my left shoulder.
Left shoulder. So, is it? Logic says that maybe the arrows came from this direction, and I stand facing the city, facing the bridge, and then looking to the left.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe they did come from the bridge, or maybe under it.
And I might even try and sort of do some sort of trigonometry type math, looking at the angles of the arrows, and try and get a better sense of direction of where they may have come from, Ben.
Yeah, because if he said he was looking at the city, but also kind of at Riverside, so he has about like this much of an angle, and he got hit in his left shoulder. Which side were the arrows poking out from, or the pointy bits? Was it your front or your back?
Oh no, they came in the front. Yeah, I must have been looking at the river, I think.
So they shot at the front. So from the bridge on, not from behind.
Yeah, somehow I didn't see him at all.
Well, you do your visual angles. I'm gonna check under the bridge. Maybe I'll find a troll down there. Brutus hops on over and looks underneath.
I'm gonna give
Kendall,
you a bardic inspiration as well.
Okay. And Kendall, the way Brutus was explaining it, as far as the origination of the arrows, that seems to make sense with your figuring.
Cool. Okay.
Brutus, as you go beneath the bridge, will you make an investigation check for me, please?
What's under here?
Be careful down there, Brutus. I got to keep an eye on you, but I'll stay up here. Okay. Anything happens, you do what you do.
Guys, I don't see anything down here. It's just dark.
Hey there.
Huh?
Hey,
What?
Spare a coin for an old man. And you see a man in rags step forward from beneath the bridge. Come on, good fellow.
Yeah, sure. I give him a gold piece.
What are you doing, man?
Here you go.
He holds it up excitedly, bites it. Ow.
Yep. That's a gold piece.
Oh, thank you. That's generous.
What are you doing under a bridge? Didn't you know there's a tent city, like, not that far from here?
I like it here.
Oh.
It's nice.
Did I just pay a toll?
Do we happen to see, if I notice Brutus speaking to someone or something, I might go down and see what he's doing.
Hey, good sir. Spare a coin for an old man.
No, I paid for all of us. That's a gold piece.
Yeah. My friend gave you a gold. It feels like that's a good deal to exchange for some information.
Information? What do you want to know, young man?
No, Nox.
Yes.
I'm wondering if maybe this gentleman might have seen what happened to our friend Kevin.
Surely. Perhaps have you seen anyone who doesn't belong walking around here?
Not us.
Don't belong. Well, you know,
strange fellows walking in groups.
It was kind of strange the other day. There's a wagon that passed the city without stopping. Yeah, usually almost everybody stops here at Riverside, at least for a bite to eat. But they just moved right on through. Yeah.
What color was the wagon?
You know what? They threw some people out the wagon too.
Good to know. Do you catch who threw who?
I think there's some soldiers got thrown out.
Did you happen to see any were there any markings on the wagon that you might?
It's a wagon with a big load. Some big crates.
Any chance you caught who did the stealing?
No. I didn't see any stealing. I just saw the wagon just roll on through.
All right.
What direction was it headed?
The city. Right.
Can I do an insight just to see if I think he's BSing us, Ben?
You can make an insight check.
The 9.
Just rolled on through and then they turned north. Yeah, like going to the city ruins.
How long ago would you say that happened?
A couple days ago. Yeah. That was kind of weird. Oh, and then another soldier, he got off and kind of like slumped next to him. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he's poisoned. Or
was he hit with arrows?
I'm not sure. I don't rightly know.
I'll pull out. I'll hand him 2 silver pieces just to see if I can help joggle his memory a little bit.
He did have something sticking out his shoulder. Something colorful. Might have been a weird hat, though. Some of them nobles, they wear some pretty funky hats.
They are weird. They don't got any fashion sense.
Something colorful.
Hey man, what's your name?
Did we notice Kevin wearing a hat, Ben?
Kevin was not wearing a hat. They call me Brisket.
Damn. What's up, Brisket?
Hey, nice to meet y'all.
You sound cool.
Well, I'd offer you something to drink, but I ain't got much here.
You got like river water.
Sure, help yourself.
That's okay. I'm not thirsty.
I'll begin to make my way back up above the bridge, and I'll just bid thank you, Brisket. If you ever come across any elves, go the other way. With a name like yours, they might get hungry.
The old man looks alarmed. Right,
Yeah.
good advice.
Are you a halfling by chance?
Do I look like a halfling? I'm not as tall as you, but I ain't no halfling.
All right, you're safe. You're safe. They won't eat you. They like halfling meat. Those weird elves in the forest.
Brisket counts his coins a few times over.
I'm just gonna go back up. Sorry, Ben.
No, sure. Kendall, when you return topside of the bridge, Commander Hockins is there still looking around. Well, you find anything down there? I think there's some wagon tracks here leading east.
Just a homeless guy.
Yeah, he mentioned the
really?
wagon not stopping here. The wagons usually stop, and it just kind of turned and kept going towards the ruins.
Oh, is that right?
Wagon fully loaded.
Did he see
Were
anything
you,
strange?
Kevin? Were you walking with the wagon, or were you riding it?
Oh man, it's kind of hard to remember. Let's see. Yeah, I was walking. Yeah.
Can I make an insight check on Evan?
Yes.
This guy has been on a very long journey to get to this bridge, and he can't remember if he was sitting down or walking alongside a wagon on
experience.
As a captain or a commander. I don't know. Something's a little off here. He's fine.
You retain your suspicion, but you're not able to discern any kind of clues or anything that would kind of like help you hone in on exactly, what specifically seems suspicious. But I mean, other than what you have already, kind of mentioned.
I've been cursed. Ever since I started smelling good, I've been rolling bad. Something's not right.
You previously mentioned that my hypothesis on where the arrows came from, Ben, lined up with kind of what Brutus was, working out. What's off in that direction? Is there a clearing where someone could have been perched to shoot, or is it just dense forest?
Sure,
is that possible? Is it possible? Sorry.
The direction that the arrows came from would have been from the bridge or the river below, or from like the direction of Riverside. So from the south.
For that matter,
okay.
Ben, by any chance, are there like any arrows on the ground or on trees where they may have missed one or two shots?
Can you make an investigation check? No knocks.
Good idea. Can I give him help with that, Ben? That's a good idea.
Yes.
I want to see, does this look like a battle occurred
I'll help
here?
you, Joel. I'll help you with that, Nonox.
All right. So I'll take that advantage then. And you said investigation, right?
Yes, please. Yeah, looking around for more signs of other arrows.
Yeah, good idea.
Guys, we can't look around.
We need some giant eyes.
You don't find any other arrows. You don't find, if it happened where Kevin said, his recollection seems a little muddled. If it did, then arrows should have, could have potentially struck nearby objects. That doesn't seem to be the case. And you don't find any other, arrowheads, any other fletching or feathers like the ones on the arrows that you saw bedside of Kevin at the Onyx. I'm sorry, I need to grab my water real quick. It'll be like 1 second.
Guys, if I remember correctly, didn't he say that... I guess I could be wrong with my recollection, because when he was explaining what happened to him, I imagined him being in a forest and like slumping against a tree and then crawling forward. But he also could have just been in the road doing that.
Yeah, no, they were within. They were excited because they could see Riverside, and then it kind of happened.
The fact that
they were kind of caught off guard because they thought they were safe.
The fact that the ATK didn't react quickly enough. The fact that there's no arrows strung around, the fact that there's not more bodies.
Yeah, are there?
Do you guys find anything
there...
interesting? Kevin asks. Any clues? These track ruts, they look heavy going east. I mean, that was a heavy load.
We didn't find anything useful underneath the bridge.
Here, come over here, Kevin, real quick. And I guide him to where Brutus thinks he might have been at when he got shot. And he's going to have him stand there and face the direction he would have been facing. And he's looking at him. He's like, what type of where was the angle on the arrow? Was it facing down more, or was it facing straight?
And I'm sorry, you're asking Kevin this, is that right?
Yes, I could take off the dressing on your wounds to find the entrance and exit hole, but that would maybe not be great for you.
You know, like I said, I blacked out after I got shot, and then I tried crawling to town, and then I woke up in the inn, and they were taking the arrows out, but they were just sticking out of me.
You know who found you?
No, I don't rightly recall. I woke up in the inn, like I said, yeah.
Well, you guys are gassing Kevin. I'm just going to walk over under the bridge and just kind of looking over at either side, just looking for the hobo Brisket mentioned things getting thrown off of the wagon as it was going.
Sure, Brisket's still there, sitting on his rock. Hey, my friend.
I'm just looking. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm like up on the bridge, just kind of looking over. If that's helpful. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, and what are you looking for?
Well, he mentioned there were some things thrown off of the wagon as it rolled on. It didn't stop. It just kind of kept going towards the ruined city.
Right.
It kind of skipped Riverside and went north, I guess, right?
Right. Yeah, he mentioned that there were what seemed like bodies thrown off.
Yeah.
Soldiers. And
yeah.
Do
we see any evidence of that?
Will you make as you stand there just kind of observing, make a perception check for me, please?
Sure. Uh, 14.
You don't see any sign of that, but you do recall Kevin mentioned that 3 of his fellow soldiers were slain during the attack.
Right.
Could Brutus look for pools of blood or like trails of blood being dragged off into the woods or somewhere else? That
Brutus, use your nose.
I'm gonna go start sniffing.
Sure, if you'd like to make an investigation check as you look around trying to find trails of blood.
You still have your bardic inspiration. You have not used
believe
it.
me, if I roll anything more than a 1, I would use it, which I will. A D6, I believe.
Yes.
16.
See done, guys.
You see a small amount of blood trailing across the bridge, kind of towards where Kendall is looking around as well. Kevin says, "Yeah, that's where I was crawling towards the city."
But no other pools of blood, huh? That I can see.
That's right.
My friends, I'm drawn to follow the road north.
Yeah. Hey,
Well, guys, I'm getting kind of hungry. It looks like this is not really panning out. I don't know.
No, Nux, come over here for a second. Lend me your ear.
What is it, Brutus?
I kind of like lean down and whisper into his ear. So when we got that contract to escort Detheda, do you remember what we called ourselves? I think it was I don't remember.
Charmed and dangerous.
Charmed and dangerous. Right.
We're the Mystic.
Hey. One last question, Kevin, before we turn in to go eat, because I'm getting a little hungry too. When we first met you, do you remember what people were calling us? Like, we had like some names that we went by, like some titles.
And what you just asked No Nox, you try to do discreetly?
Yes.
Oh, can you make a stealth check for me, please?
Me?
Brutus.
Of course. With 15.
Oh, what was it? Well, didn't you have 2 group names?
We did, yeah. I don't remember any of them. And then people were saying we got a new name. So I'm trying to think of what to call ourselves now that we've actually been friends for a bit. But I want to remember what they called us before. I didn't care much because it was just like a job.
Can you make a deception check, Brutus?
Yeah. I was debating on trying to make it a persuasion check, but there's really no difference in the skill.
Can I provide advantage to him? Something along the lines of it would mean a lot to us as friends if you remembered.
All right.
I'll have 2 separate deception checks, please. One from No Nox, one from Brutus.
Ooh.
7.
Deception.
It's not 1, man.
13.
Huh. I mean, none of y'all remember?
It's been so long, and we've gone through so many things.
We've nearly died multiple times. It's possible we have some bit of brain damage.
Yeah, I think you're calling yourself, like, charmed and, mystical. Something like that.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have a very good ring to it, if you ask me, but...
No, that's what we're trying to find a new name.
Well, friends,
All right.
I feel like if we stand here any longer, we might wind up with poisoned purple arrows in our backs.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go
I'm
eat.
for breakfast.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll buy breakfast, alright? Let's go get a bite.
Sure, free food.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe this weird pain in my stomach will go away.
That might be the soap you ate earlier.
I'll make my breath smell clean.
Kevin stays with the group of you as you return to the Onyx.
Kender,
right.
what do you think?
What do I think? Something
Strange.
doesn't add up.
Strange situation.
My mom had a saying. She used to say, "The math isn't mathing." I'm starting to feel that way.
Reminds me of that time I followed some rabbit tracks and I found a bear. I don't know what happened with that, but it wasn't right.
Maybe the bear got hungry and ate the rabbit.
You'll have to remind me when someday I have a story
Maybe.
about a rabbit and a bear.
You catch more bears with rabbits.
Than you
Right,
do
that's-
with honey.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Have you heard the joke about the rabbit and the bear in the woods?
No.
What's that?
There's a bear and a rabbit, and they're sitting in the woods. The bear has to go take a dump, So he does that, and he comes back, and the rabbit, and he goes, do you ever have a problem with crap sticking to your fur? The rabbit goes, no. So the bear picks up the rabbit and wipes his butt with him.
Kevin clutches his shoulder. That was a good one.
Brutus has a booming laugh that is just like a little, like, just a touch above uncomfortable for like how like loud it is in the eardrums. That's funny.
You guys return to the Onyx, and it's busy as usual. People are eating, and Kevin orders breakfast for you while he steps away to the bar and asks you guys maybe snag that table over there so we can have somewhere nice to eat.
Sure. I watch him get our food.
Yeah, guys, I'm just having, my stomach is not settled right. I might just go upstairs and have a lie down for a minute. I'll be back. And I'm just gonna retreat up to our room.
Okay, I'll sit at the table, but I'm watching him get our food, trying to keep an eye on it, make sure we're not getting poisoned.
Brutus, will you make a perception check, please?
This guy he's something, all right. That's a 19.
You keep a keen eye on Kevin, and you notice he kind of pockets something as he picks up your plates and brings them to the table. He appears to be trying to discreetly put something away.
I look at the bartender, or whoever he got the food from. Do they look like a local, or do they look like they have some scars?
Same barkeep as last night. After he puts the plates on the counter, he turns away quickly. Wouldn't have noticed if there was something to notice.
He doesn't care then. All right. Okay. I sit down and I wait for him to bring our food.
Hey, where'd Kendall go? And he slides the plate to each of you.
He's being a nerd. He's wussing out because his stomach hurts. Or something like that. I don't know. So he's just reading in his room now. I'll bring his food up to him later.
Yeah, I mean, here's his plate.
Yeah.
I could bring it right up to him, actually, if you guys want.
Oh, that's all right. You just got shot in the shoulder with a poisoned arrow. You probably shouldn't be moving around too much.
Yeah, but I kind of owe you guys, you know? Like, man, I should have waited for you guys to come back.
You're buying us food, and we got a room. That's kind of all I need, really.
Look, I'm gonna run this up to Kendall. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Just for the record, I would have closed my door.
Okay. Kendall, you hear a knocking on your door. Kendall, hey, I got some food for you. I heard you're not feeling that good.
When I hear that noise, I quickly recant a minor illusion spell and create the sound of utter disgusting flatulence coming from my room. Just sound like someone that's just like lots of stuff on the inside that wants to be on the outside.
So like Brutus on a normal day.
Brutus after he eats some rancid food that he couldn't stomach.
Probably where I would have even got the idea, no, not.
It's like a sound clip you took from him.
Do me a favor, Kendall, and make a deception check with advantage, please.
I don't know if the advantage will help me.
Kendall, you alright? That sounds like a mess in there.
There's not even a chamber pot in our rooms.
Come on, dice. Don't let me down.
Ooh!
What'd I do? 19s. Okay, I'll take it.
Well, hey, take it easy. And Kevin hurries off, bringing the food with him. I got you covered later. Hoping to avoid the smell that's surely to follow this wretched sound. And Kevin returns to the dining area
But while he's away, perhaps Brutus and No Nox have a moment to speak, or as you wish.
Yes.
I'm about to like dig in.
No,
Quite
Nox, no.
hungry.
I think Kevin tried to slip something away when he was at the table. I think he's trying to poison their food. So I'm going to do a little sneaky. And I swap my plate with Kevin's plate. And I try to remember how it exactly was. And I try to position it exactly the correct way. With my plate not mattering much because I would just... It's my plate, not his. Make it look like... Swap our foods, but make it look like his wasn't touched whatsoever. And swap our, if we have one, swap our drinks as well. While he's gone with Kevin, or gone with talking to Kendall.
So you swap your plate for Kevin's plate, Brutus.
Yes.
And you're hoping to achieve kind of the same look, or so that he doesn't notice, right?
Trying to position it exactly the same way.
Okay.
Food on the plate and all.
Okay.
You see no nuts as I'm doing it. It's like, there's been a lot of assassinations in the military group I worked for, so you kind of have to look out for all the bad stuff, and this is one of the few things.
Can I make some kind of investigation check to see if I can look for anything that might look suspicious on the plate?
Yes.
Some kind of like weird looking sauce or something like that.
Sure.
That's a 12.
The eggs are a little runny, but they're making a lot of food, so maybe the cook was just in a rush. Kevin returns. Oh, you guys don't have to wait for me, aren't you hungry? What are you playing with your food for, Brutus?
It's polite.
Well, I just don't know where to start. It all looks so good. And I start trying to like move my fork around, like, and gauge his reaction.
Okay. Brutus, for me, please make a sleight of hand check.
Of course.
This is for your attempt to have the plates appear similar.
Brutus has dealt with assassination.
Yeah, you did.
He's dealt with assassination attempts. He knows how this goes. Is just right at home.
There's a reason he's lived this long.
Nicely done, man.
And I'm sorry, Joel. It slipped my mind what you were.
Oh, I'm like, I don't know where to begin. Everything looks so good today, and I just throw my fork around like on the plate and try to gauge his reaction.
No, Nox, make a deception check for me, please. You can use advantage.
I'll take that. Almost kind of trying to gauge to see like, oh, I'd start with eggs or something like that, you know?
What if this is all for nothing and Kevin is just actually a good person?
I'll feel terrible for like 1 second and then I'll get over it.
Ben's just waiting to see how far we'll go.
Oh. Man. Well, don't play with your food there. And Kevin sits down and takes a hearty bite of eggs. And, no, Nox, make an insight check, please.
Okay. Sorry, you gotta toggle off advantage. Insight. Ooh! Natural 20.
Kevin's eyes narrow momentarily as he takes a bite, tasting the eggs. And then he kind of grabs his shoulder and turns to the side and spits the food out and makes a heaving sound. But you recognize that he's, he doesn't spit anything up except for the eggs, although he does heave quite a bit. Oh, guys, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling very well. And he takes a big swig of ale and spits it out on the water after swishing it around his mouth. I'm going to go back to my room. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, breakfast, enjoy it. I'll talk to you later. He kind of rushes away from the table upstairs.
I'm gonna follow after him
and just kind of, he's being concerned
You
because
think? Do you think if I ate around the eggs, it'd be fine, or
I
you think
don't
that's a risk?
But I'm gonna follow after him and make sure he gets to his room all right.
No, Nox, you do recognize though that the plate Kevin was going to eat from was in front of Brutus. If you want to take your chances. I'm all right, Brutus. Really, just give me. I'll be all right by lunch. Really, just not feeling well all of a sudden. It must be the lingering poison. And Kevin, I'm sorry.
No, I just my main motivation is to see which room he has.
Oh, sure. Yeah, he opens the door and closes it behind him. Really, I'll catch up with you guys later.
In the swift second that he had this door open, can I get a quick scan of his room?
Yeah, make a perception check, please.
I want to check to see if he has windows, if his bed is off the floor, if he has a closet that has, if he has a closet door or something like that, a boudoir, places where there might be some shadows in the room, either at day or at night.
Sure. The bed is raised. These are nice beds. The rooms are very simple, and there's not enough room for a closet or for much furniture, large furniture at least. So these are simple rooms, basically with a very small desk and a chair to sit at, a trunk at the foot of the bed, and then the bed itself raised on the frame. And similar to your room, there is a window.
And our windows lock, I assume? Our windows in our room?
It's safe to assume that. You haven't tried them yet, though.
Okay. All right.
Is it possible that I hear them outside in the hallway, Ben?
Yeah, you absolutely hear Kevin, telling Brutus he's fine. He's fine.
Once if I hear his door close, I might step out.
Okay, then Kendall and Brutus are in the hallway there.
I just look eyes with you, and I motion downstairs.
I just give you a thumbs up, and then I start making my way downstairs.
Okay, and then you regroup with No Nox. Is that right?
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the way past, I might try and maybe see if I can get like a big slab of bread and a big glass of milk or something like that, Ben.
Absolutely. Yeah, maybe a silver piece for that.
Sure.
Brutus, when we all sit down, Brutus is going to offer his food to somebody who doesn't want to chance poison food or whatever it is, and is going to eat some moldy bread for breakfast.
Yeah, and Kendall, for a silver piece, you have a pretty sizable loaf of bread with just a swath of butter on it, and then a small glass of milk.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great.
All right,
Nonox,
guys.
did you decide to eat any of the food there?
I'm gonna follow Brutus up the stairs, with my plate in hand.
Oh, okay. Is that the plate that was delivered to you by Kevin?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Do you wish to do something before returning downstairs?
Are you guys not with Kevin currently?
I saw him to his room, and then Kendall left his room. Now that Kevin's behind a closed door.
So I'll hand the plate over to Kendall.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And say there's something strange going on.
Interesting.
If you can't find out what's in it, I'll take a bite.
Yeah, maybe let's step back into my room for a moment. I'll set it down on the desk in there, Ben, and then
I'll stay outside and keep a watch.
Sure, yeah, that's not a bad idea. And then if I may, I'm not sure what skill it might be. See if I can try and tell if it's been tainted, or if it's being poisoned or something to that effect, Ben.
Sure. Can you make a medicine check, please?
Yeah. I feel like this would have been a great one for our friend Elias. Oh, it's going to roll advantage by accident. Sorry.
It's okay.
Take the first one. Okay. Not a good roll. Guys, this isn't my forte. I know it's...
Looking over it, you don't, see any visible evidence of what you're looking for.
Okay.
That doesn't necessarily allay your suspicions, but yeah.
And to be fair, I probably wasn't overly confident in being able to tell because it's just not my area of expertise.
Sure.
Kendall.
Perhaps if we just set it in our chest, maybe it's something Elias could check at another time.
I could take a bite of it. I am pretty hardy. And while the effects may or may not take hold, I can maybe try and glean something.
In all fairness, my friend, I don't know that we're going to learn anything that we don't already suspect. The worst case scenario is it's just going to harm you.
I'll provide a medicine check from Elias, who would just have, as we do, they typically just fade into the background, kind of, but
sure.
So just so that base is covered, I'll roll this check with advantage because of basically the clues that you guys have gathered.
Sure. He may just have his wisdom add to it.
A 14.
There you go. There you go.
He notices that the eggs appear greasy, and it doesn't seem like bacon grease, which is probably what they were cooked with. There's probably something in the eggs, he thinks.
Okay. Thanks for that.
Kendall.
That's my friend.
How do you feel about an assassination?
I feel that it would be for naught.
Because I could probably slip into his room at night and mess him up real good.
Think about the stories that we've heard about Commander Krim.
True.
What do you mean by that, Kendall? What are
we've heard we've heard stories that there may be demons working their ways into the ATK's
infrastructure,
commanding ranks.
Sure.
So I feel that our limited expertise may not be able to kill a demon or something of that nature at this point in our careers, and that it would be to our detriment.
I see.
And it might be to our benefit to carry on with the charade for now.
The thing is, though, is that I think he's catching on that we are catching on. And this is maybe a fun charade, but it is still a charade covered with malice of poisoned eggs. And I point to the eggs. It might behoove us to get into his room at night and beat the crap out of him and knock him unconscious and then interrogate him at a later date. Because, A, we beat him unconscious and he's just normal, in which case we've messed up a lot, or he turns into something else, and like I suspect, something's replaced him. Because there has been 3 deaths by his account that he says they were killed, that I saw no blood trails. The weird guy Brisket under the bridge said he saw people getting thrown overboard over the cart that, if I remember correctly, no one was riding in nothing was drawing the carriage, and it just went down the road towards the city. And he said that he crawled a little bit and then passed out and then woke up. I can't remember who his savior is. He can't remember where he got shot from. And he doesn't know much about what's going on, and his memory's hazy. And not to mention that he couldn't remember what her name is. Granted, not that I could remember either. Still, though.
I don't discount your inferences, but some of them have plausible deniability. Some of them are sketchy. I still don't feel like we have enough information to. Aside from the poison's pretty telling. I just feel like we're new to this town. The ATK, I would say, are not very popular here, which it goes in our favor.
We could talk to Fellet. She's a secret lady. Maybe she would know something, or have some guesses.
Not a bad idea.
Ben, do I hear any steps inside, or is he actually laying in bed?
Make a perception check, please, No Nox.
That's a 20, dirty 20.
You hear the creaking of floorboards within Commander Hockins' room, as though he has moved very near the door, perhaps with his ear pressed against it.
I'm tempted. Oof. Okay.
We've been together enough by now, Brutus. I've got your back.
Do you have a spell to make things quiet?
I do not.
Can't stop his screams when we stab him in the night. Interesting. That spell you cast to make it harder for you to be hit. Could you do that to me?
Unfortunately, no. Those particular enchantments are restricted to the caster.
Shame.
No, Nox, if you take action, you can jump in at any point.
Okay. I think at this point, I'm waiting for them to come out of the room. But if they don't,
I will. Ben, I'm going to put a hand on Brutus. With the other hand, I kind of have my spell book open, just kind of reciting some words of magic. And I'm going to give him the gift of alacrity as well, casting it using a spell slot. So for the rest of the next 8 hours, Brutus, you can add a D8 to your initiative.
Brutus nods. And I open the door and I look at No Nox.
you see that at this point, I think I would be wearing my shield.
I just kind of look at the door.
And I would just point at him at the door and like this, as into I would say to signal that he's listening.
How do our doors lock, Ben? Is there a keyhole or is it like a deadbolt?
I imagine deadbolts rather than individual keys or a master key. Yeah, I imagine they'd be deadbolts.
I assume there's a crack at the bottom of the door or the top.
Yeah, it's a well-maintained place, but there's absolutely a small gap at the bottom, at the base of the door.
Brutus gets his... we just had breakfast, so it is not anywhere close to being nighttime, huh?
Yeah, it's not even lunch yet.
I kind of just look at the both of the guys, and I walk to Kevin's door, and I sit there, and I say, Kevin,
How you doing in there, buddy? You doing all right?
And you hear the creaking of floorboards as he apparently moves away from the door. I'm not feeling too good. Yeah. I'll have to catch up with you guys later.
No, Nonox, do you? Nonox, do you? I'm trying to whisper, Ben, if I can, to Nonox. Do you buy that?
I'll walk towards you so you can whisper it in my ear, far from the door.
Do you buy that? The sound of his voice just sounds a little.
He wasn't laying down, I'll tell you that. He had his ear to the door the whole time. That's not how a normal man reacts after someone attempts to poison him.
Kevin, I'm a military man. And you're a military man, but we come from different walks of life. Very much so, I would say. I grew up in a pretty rough place, and I fought in an even rougher one for a man that I honored greatly. You're a great guy. I've heard great things about you. You're nice, a good soul. I would say you're generous, but I'm just kind of assuming that part. I didn't hear anyone say it like specifically, but I think it would be like a good thing to say, maybe. As I'm speaking, can I try to like gauge roughly where he's at?
You heard him move away from the door. He's probably bedside at this point. These are small 10 by 10 rooms.
I'm gonna look at the doorknob, and I'm gonna try and look in the crack of the door and see if I can spot if it's been locked by the deadbolt or if it's unlocked currently. Try and get my eye right within the crevice to try and like look up and down and see if it's currently locked.
Unfortunately, you can't see past the barrier to discern that.
No matter. And I'm going to summon my shadow 5 feet in front of me on the other side of the door. And then I'm going to swap places with it. And then look at Kevin in the room. Kevin, I think it's time. And I unlock the door if it's locked.
As you appear, Kevin hunches over and kind of leans against the bed. Please roll initiative.
Oh.
All right.
Add a D8. Is this for all of us, Ben?
Yes, everybody please roll initiative as Brutus disappears from sight, and in his place is his shadow.
So that's a 20 for me.
Oh.
Brutus, did you get 30?
Yes, a nat 20 and then plus 8 from Gift of Alacrity.
Oh my goodness.
Guys, you need to chill.
This is where I grew up in. This is the type of shit I've served in as part of the military. I'm well versed.
Kendall, is your initiative 22?
It is.
Don't you have Alacrity as well?
Yeah, I have it all built into my roll.
Brutus, you can act first.
Would unlocking the door be...
That's going to be an interaction.
I unlock the door, and then I bonus action summon my shadow right next to him.
What are you doing?
Kevin,
You don't seem like you're yourself. And I'm going to attack twice with my shadow. I'm trying to do non-lethal damage because I don't want to kill Kevin. But we're gonna try and knock him out. And we're gonna go twice. Oh my god. I'm gonna action search because I got an 11 and a 7. I assume he's in his armor.
He is wearing chainmail.
Okay, we're gonna go again.
11 and 7.
22.
22 will hit.
Okay. We're gonna deal 10 slashing, and since it's before his initiative, we're gonna deal 7 more. And the shadow is going to stay right up in his face. And Brutus is gonna stay by the door. Not blocking it. He's gonna stand one step side to the door so his friends can enter. And that'll be his turn.
Kevin throws himself against the glass-paned window. The window shatters as he falls through it. You can make an attack of opportunity, Brutus.
Oh, gladly. That's a hit. For another 13. Only those other 3 attacks hit. This guy would be down right now.
Kevin leaps out of the second-story window. You hear a thud and an oomph as he hits the ground. And next is Kendall.
So I'm gonna walk over to the window and look out to see Kevin.
Oh, you beautiful bastard.
And I pull out my spell book and begin reciting some magical words. I need him to make a Constitution save, DC 14.
So you throw the door open and rush to the window, and
no, I think it didn't. Brutus opened the door, did he not?
He unlocked it.
Oh, I unlocked it, but
okay.
I stood aside so you could enter.
You can use an interaction to open the door. That's fine. I'm just clarifying the narrative.
Oh, okay, cool. No problem. Yeah, that's great.
And so, that's going to be, you're moving 10 feet towards the window, and as you peer out the window, you see a dozen people out back. Scanning them, let's see. You see a dozen people, and a few of them are soldiers wearing chainmail, similar to Kevin's. Make a perception check for me, please, to try to discern which one is Kevin.
Okay. Come on. All right, as I'm peering out the door, let's see if I can get him back in here, guys. There's a lot of other soldiers out there. What did I get? Oh, that's not going to help.
You see, like I said, several soldiers. None of them are Kevin.
Okay. If I can't see him, I'll just keep there, keeping an eye, trying to, like squinting as if trying to make my eyes more useful, Sure.
We'll say there are 4 soldiers, and roughly 8 other people out back. But again, none of them appear to be Kevin.
Okay.
Next is No Knox.
All right. I guess I will do the same thing. I'll move towards the window now that the door's open. And I'm gonna try to use one of my spells if I can spot him.
Okay. You go to the window and please make a perception check to see if you can spot Kevin.
Okay. Natural 20.
You see, you don't see Kevin, but you notice that two of these soldiers look identical. If you would, please make me an insight check.
Okay. $16.
These two identical soldiers are very near each other. One of them looks perplexed as he stares at the other.
Perfect. I will take aim at the other. And how far is he from me?
We'll mark it at about 20. Yeah, about 20 feet away. I'm sorry, 15 feet away. So like down 10 and then out 15.
I'll scream at him. Did you leave your eggs behind, or have they not dropped yet? As I cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Okay.
That will save.
Okay.
But
as you shout, the soldiers and people outside all look up at you.
in that case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the rest of my movement, if I can, to use my acrobatics and try to land on my feet as I jump out the window.
Okay.
Nice.
Please make an acrobatics check.
All right. That's an 11.
You're not really that high up, so I will allow you to, leap out the window and land sure-footed upon the ground.
How far from him am I now?
We'll put it at 15 feet.
In that case, I will use my bonus action to use Adrenaline Rush. And block his escape.
Okay, so you try to move right next to him, kind of in the way of the direction that he seems to be moving.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, Ben, I'm gonna, if I can, I retract that. I'm not gonna use Adrenaline Rush. I'm gonna use Bardic Inspiration to use Mantle of Inspiration.
Nice.
So I will expand a use of Bardic. You can all move up to your speed if you choose to with your reaction. And I will do the same thing I did before and block his escape.
I'll allow that.
I cannot, sadly, because I used my reaction to swipe at him. But you best believe I'm jumping out this window.
You got those extra 5 temp hit points, so that should help.
Kendall, how do you react?
I happily take the temporary hit points, but I feel it's almost to my advantage to not be seen by the rest of the ATK. And as a wizard, I'm in like great position in a window with a good view. So I might stay put, trying to stay somewhat out of sight in the room.
Okay.
But I thankfully take the extra temporary hit points, just in case.
And as you move to block this soldier from leaving, he begins kind of backing away back towards the other group of 3 soldiers, and you hear a voice. They're trying to rob me. I'm going to roll a charisma check, and the group of soldiers kind of looks confused. The one that looks exactly like him kind of shifts his glance and then back towards this imposter, as it would seem, and stays focused on him, although they all do draw swords at the ready. And then he turns and flees in the opposite direction of you, Nonox. He runs towards the edge of the tavern and disappears around the corner. And then next is... oh. I'm sorry, I skipped Brutus. I thought that I had the highest...
No, sir.
30.
So my apologies. So he does not yet flee. We'll just have him exchange those words. Go ahead, Brutus.
Brutus is going to run towards the window, jump and leap out, and is trying to... he's gonna have his shadow basically shadow him as he jumps and leaps out of the window, on trying to land onto this imposter, and is going to attempt 2 grapple checks or 2 grapple attacks from both him and his shadow.
Okay. Make a strength check to jump.
Athletics.
Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
Okay, we're gonna non-nat 20.
Sure. You're able to leap out the window, and you need to, get yourself up off of the ground, but then you can close the distance. No problem.
So I get up and I summon my shadow right next to me. We're both kind of... I want to position my shadow in a direction where he would have to move away to go towards some guards. And I say, "There is an imposter. He took the commander. Get him!" And I'm going to attempt the grapple attacks.
Okay.
Which I can do 2 of, one through me, one through my shadow. I believe it's a athletic skill contest. I don't remember. I haven't made a grapple check in forever.
Yes, you can choose athletics or acrobatics as you please.
Okay. All right, that's 11 from me.
18.
18. All right, and then we're gonna do another one through the shadow. It's a 19.
13.
So my shadow just grabs him.
Okay.
And those are my actions, and I use my bonus action to bring him here. And I just say, "Guards!" And I look to the one that looks the same. "Look, it's you!"
Make a charisma check with advantage, please. Or persuasion, if you please.
That is a 8.
Hey.
Okay.
It's better than his 4.
It does beat his 4. And I will hold that roll over because that already took place. He struggles to free himself from the grips of your shadow, and so please make an opposed check.
Athletics from the shadow.
Oops.
Oh, see, I'll take the first one. 22.
And he's unable to free himself here. And slams into your shadow. Just trying to pummel him with a double hammer fist.
You're stupid.
18 to hit your shadow.
He hits him. He's gone. Into dust.
Shadow disappears. Oh.
I mean, if he's trying to break free, that's an action to do so.
Yeah, no, you're right. He already tried to break free. He wouldn't have really been able to slam. I should have reordered that, but he didn't. So, I'm sorry. Yeah, the shadow is still there, grasping him. Oh my goodness. He says, "Okay, I surrender."
Is he talking with Commander Hopkins' voice as the guard that he's making himself look like?
It does sound like Commander Hockins.
Doesn't that sound strange?
Next is Kendall. I surrender.
Seeing this kind of transpire outside the window, Kendall, not using a spellbook, recites some words of magic, and steps out of the window, and then misty steps and then appears just at the foot of the tavern wall, and begins I'm just holding a cantrip in case Kevin basically goes back on what he's saying, in which case I'll release it before my next turn. Otherwise, I'm just holding the magic.
And what spell is that?
Toll the Dead.
Okay. And the next is No Nox.
I'm gonna use Hold Person.
Oh.
So, 1 second. Let me pull that up.
Oh shoot! Sorry, it rolled. I didn't mean to roll. My bad.
That's okay.
So, if you don't mind, Ben, rolling a Wisdom saving throw for me.
19.
Jesus. All right. I'm very upset with you, mister. Drop your weapons.
The soldier raises his hands.
We have an imposter among us. Be on guard. He can change his visage at will.
Make a persuasion check for me, please. No Nox.
Okay. Persuasion?
Yes, please.
That's a 16 total.
And the soldiers move with their swords drawn, pointed carefully at this soldier imposter. Right. We could take him from here. Brutus, it's your turn.
Brutus is going to attempt to grapple himself, or try to transfer the grapple to him. So if he tries to hit him, he won't just dissipate into dust. And is going to do that so the guards can get a good wrangle on him with rope or such.
So you're essentially trying to switch positions with him? With your shadow?
Ooh, that's interesting.
I don't think that it would work that way because I don't think it would transfer conditions.
Mm-hmm.
It would be my gut reaction. So you would probably need to make your own grapple
Yeah,
check.
that's what I was saying. While he's
okay.
grappled, I'm gonna go and
I
put
see.
my arms around him.
Yes. Okay.
But that is an interesting thought.
Make your grapple check, please.
Could I do it at advantage since he's already stuck?
Yes.
Oh, you gotta ask. That is a 13.
I'm sorry. He does not contest being grappled.
Okay, so I've got him now, and I say, all right, tie him up.
Okay.
And my shadow is going to ready a stab attack at him if he tries to break free and make a run for it.
Okay. And next is Kendall.
You guys feel like we have this under control, and as I let the spell I was holding kind of dissipate.
Not until he's in chains.
We need the city guard. He can't be trusted.
Are there city guards?
Just ATK.
I think it's just ATK people.
Quickly, tie him up. Guards, please help us.
Sure. The guards move to restrain this imposter. One gathers a rope from its horse's satchel that is nearby and begins to bind the soldier. Nonox, do you care to act?
I'm trying to figure out, I guess, is this an illusion? Or is it an actual, alteration of physical form? Is he wearing the same things? Or did his entire appearance change?
So it looks like the same person, but his armor it looks like the same person as the other soldier, but his armaments are finer quality. His chainmail, his cloak resemble those of Kevin's, of exactly what Kevin was wearing.
So this is someone who can change their physical form.
Yes, it would appear so.
Sort of shifter or doppelganger, perhaps?
I would let my team know this.
Bet the guards know that too.
He may not be the only one.
The guards kind of look at each other suspiciously, but continue binding this shapeshifter.
Brutus would last thing Brutus would want to do in this interaction is bind, put rope in between each of the individual fingers and thumb for both hands, tie those hands together, and then gag him as well, and then put a bag over his head.
This is Commander Hockins' family sword.
It's stolen. I would take it off of him and return it to your actual captain whenever he shows up.
It seems Commander Hopkins was kidnapped.
Along with Detheda.
Or worse.
Or killed.
He might have to... He has a lot to answer for.
The ATK soldiers just kick him on the back of the knees to bring him to his knees and begin to hoist him onto the back of the horse. We'll take him from here.
If it please, sirs, I worry that there may be others within your ranks that have been turned. Perhaps we should take him to loyalists of Master Dunlop. Lady Detheda was traveling with Commander Hockins. It would seem that only logical that he may have been involved with her kidnapping, and perhaps Dunlop's loyalists may be able to help us in this. I know that they have control of Hideo Park. Perhaps we should take him there.
It would serve as the purpose of showing good faith.
Will you guys please make Kendall make a persuasion check with advantage?
That will also give you a bardic inspiration on this as well.
Okay, that'll help. I shouldn't talk, guys. Sorry.
No, dude. You're doing great. So you have advantage as well.
Yes.
Oh, shoot, sorry, my bad. Let's do that again.
It's okay.
I just turned it off. I'll just roll again. Is that okay?
Yes.
And then I'll roll a d8. D6. D6?
D6.
Okay. A 10.
We're not that good yet.
Next level.
So that's going to be 14, Ben?
I can't just hand him over to you. I need to talk to Romero. Let's tie him up, and let's not put him on this horse. Let's put him in front of the Onyx, and we'll keep an eye on him. You could leave one of your guys with us too if you want.
I can agree to that.
That's good. That's a good point.
I'll stay with him.
We have evidence that he was tampering with the innkeeper's food.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to poison the patrons.
Brutus searches his pockets where he saw him slip a little something inside and pulls out whatever it was.
You see a half-empty vial of some kind of grease.
Poison. I'll stick with you guards.
I'll reach out to the dwarves.
Let's go talk to Romero.
Yeah, that was a good job. Good instincts on the both of you. Perhaps I shouldn't think too hard the next time. I feel like I was being a bit too cautious.
Oh no, if this wasn't actually Commander Hopkins, we would be at war right now. It would be very bad.
This doesn't appear to be Commander Hockins. I don't
know
how he got this sword and his armaments.
Sir, the only logical explanation could be that this individual has killed Commander Hockins and taken over his personage. I'm sorry for your loss. I know he was very popular and
Sorry to cut you off.
No, that was all. My apologies.
That would be terrible. Perhaps there is some other explanation, but I fear you might be right.
I hate to say, unfortunately, I'm right more than I'm wrong. It's kind of a curse.
Brutus will stick with the guards until we get to Romero, in which he wants to have a private little chat with him.
Sure. And the guards, lead this imposter to the front of the Onyx, and they chain him to a post of wood.
Sorry, Ben. One thing.
Sure.
I believe we have the Stones of Sending.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I will give ours to Brutus, because me and him have one.
Okay.
And then Kendall and
I have the other.
Has the other.
Okay. We'll have Kendall and Brutus have the sending stones then at this point in time. And so, just so I have this straight, Brutus wishes to remain with the guards, looking after the prisoner. Nonox, you wish to seek out a dwarven authority. And then Kendall, I'm sorry, did you explain what your intention was?
I would probably accompany Nonox because that was my initial thought. I think.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not to take away from Nonox's initiative in going seeking him out, but I would accompany him for sure.
Absolutely. Okay, and that's where we'll end the adventure for this evening. Well played. Thank you to my players as always. Thanks to anybody who's hanging out and watching, enjoying the game. And until next time, the adventure continues.
That's some great RP, guys. That was fun.